group here, and everybody really liked it. So,
Okay.
And then we have another interviewee on the phone, Mike. He's out of Tennessee, so he will be joining the team as well.
Awesome.
What's up, Justin?
Hey, good evening. All right. Does anybody know who I am or does not know who I am? Is there anybody that has no idea about
I
my?
have personally never heard the name.
Okay. Alicia, should I go ahead and kind of give my 411 on that?
Introduce yourself. Give a little background who you are. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
All right, everybody, good evening. My name is Justin Dill, former forecaster at WEAC TV television in Anniston, Alabama. 15-year over-the-road truck driver. So I have storm chased for a pretty long time over in Oklahoma, Texas, Nebraska. I drove all 48 states across the country, so I've seen my fair share of severe weather. I met Alicia on Facebook a couple years ago, and it was her, Zoe, Emily Pike, and others. You know, there's too many storm chasers to mention by name. So, but you know, she's had one of those personalities that stood out that always had my attention. Emily had always mentioned good about Alicia, so we became pretty good friends on Facebook through the last couple of years, and really like to try to support whoever I can with you guys team, with your team and whatnot. So just thought I'd offer some of my I won't say expertise, but some of my hobbies with some enhanced graphics, I guess you'd say. So what I'm doing now is basically I'm trying to start a truckers type of weather channel per se. Back in the day when my grandfather drove truck, he used to watch the weather channel every morning before he went out on a load. And the Weather Channel radio network at one point had custom weather for truck drivers, and they took that away. And ever since they went with the reality shows and whatnot, truck drivers have been very, left out on getting real weather information, especially in the middle of the night when there'd be storms popping up across the country. So, following what Max and Ryan has done the last couple of years, I've taken some initiative here to revamp my skills as a weather forecaster and truck driver because I know all about safety. I worked in the safety department at Covenant Transport in their weather department for a short season and understood the logistics, Qualcomm operations, the safety, when to issue Qualcomm alerts for parameters on when to have trucks shut down for, say, when I was working up there for like blizzard events or winter storm warnings and stuff of that nature. We look for trucks that are still going, and they would tell us things like, for example, they were trying to find a safe haven to pull over and stuff like that. So I'm trying to build my own score like Ryan's got. I call it the rollover index basically because there's two ways a truck driver can haul freight or not haul freight is either if they have an empty load or a full load. Usually they got a full load is going to be around between no more than 46,000 pounds in freight. So the maximum weight you're carrying is 80,000 pounds inside your box with your truck. So wind can play different factors between an empty truck and a trailer versus a fully loaded trailer, especially if you're like traveling up in Wyoming or anywhere where you have some severe crosswinds. So more of my focus on this rollover index is, trying to keep trucks from rolling over during high wind warnings and stuff of that nature. So that's a skill that's some of the skills that I've got, and that's some of the index that I'm still trying to increase and whatnot on my platform, which is High Ground Truckers News and Weather. That's what it's called on YouTube and Facebook.
I think will be very useful. Kevin knows this, and Kevin's been around since I created and founded this team. That we wanted to create truckers weather because we know it's important.
Mm-hmm.
They need to know the weather more than anybody. They have close friends who are truckers, so like we know people who would utilize this service. And it is already out to some degree. Kev, you should show Grizz it. There's a 24-hour channel already on YouTube.
Definitely will. Yeah, I went chasing for my first time in a big rig the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with his trucker friend. Yes. So and he has another guy who usually gives him his weather, but if he knew he had a channel that he could go to and it gave him the information, I know he'd spread the word because it's a big deal to him to have proper weather on the road.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that. I've been networking with a guy called Mother Trucker News. His name is Alex out of Texas. We've been in
Okay.
contact for a couple of years now, actually. When I originally started Truckers Weather, that's my backup channel. Um, when I started doing this last year, Alicia, I think you may remember that. But so like I said, I just wanted to try to get this going on a different platform, completely from scratch, to see how I can grow my thing organically on YouTube and whatnot. But if I had the money and whatnot, like Ryan and Max has got like that, I could probably, develop better graphics and stuff like that, and more servers and whatnot to kind of keep things going. But I'm just a one man band right now,
Now,
so
Ashley, our girl Ashley is building some private servers for some of our things, so we can maybe talk to her about that.
all right, sounds good.
Because she might, with what she's building, she should have room. So we have a few projects that may work with that. And then Mike here is helping us with some of our sticker graphics and other things. So I'm sure Mike would want to work with you too on graphics and things of that nature if you'd be willing.
I'm sure, definitely just trying to, just get the name out there. We're just trying to grow and whatnot, get monetized, whatnot have you, and then afford some of this extra stuff. Alicia, I think you said you're a 501c3, right?
I am not a 501c3. We are an LLC because we don't have a strong enough board to do 501c3, but all of our money is nonprofit and we can prove where it goes.
Okay. Well, like I said, I just got monetized on Facebook here about a couple months ago.
Yeah, eventually we will once we get the right enough people and enough support where I know we can do proper missions.
Mm-hmm.
But as of right now, we're just too small. But at the same time, I can show everybody my financials and where every dollar that comes in goes. So
yeah,
that. So we don't take any cuts for ourselves except occasional. I've probably only taken in $200 out of myself out of everything we've made over the years. Nope Boys gave us money a few years ago. But that's about it. So we haven't had too much money. So that's why merchandise is going to be our biggest way to have money. And we just started merchandise last year.
Mm-hmm.
So we've only been to 3 events where we've really been able to sell some merchandise. And we've done pretty well. So we've got, like I said, about $380 in the kitty right now, but that's all we have. So we're a very small business. We have $0. Our page is monetized, but we get no dollars.
Gotcha.
So it's rough, but everybody puts in their own money and their own time and their own effort to make what it is. And hopefully, like I've said, once we blend all this together, and have because Nathan here and Mike are going to be some people that'll be helping on air as well, with our channels over here for UNWT.
Okay.
So we can definitely try to work out a, group coverage and really work on that. So that way not one person is getting burnt out from doing everything.
Yeah, so who is everybody here and what is your expertise, if you don't mind me asking, besides Alicia, I know?
Yeah. So we'll go around in a circle. Let's start with Cheyenne because you're at the top. Cheyenne. Hey.
Hello, Cheyenne.
Cheyenne is one of our admins. If you want to explain what you are and what you do.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm Cheyenne Sutherland. I am from Iowa. I'm an admin and field ops for the UNWT, but I also founded my own kind of little team.
Okay.
Still just kind of like a single person venture, but
I know the feeling.
I mean, I do have a chase partner that I'm kind of taking through some of the test runs right now and seeing if he'll actually work out for my team. Then I'll incorporate him with the UNWT, and yeah.
Yeah, and then you also help us with our vinyls. So.
Yeah.
So she does like some of the vinyls and stuff like that. And then we've got Kevin. Kevin is my executive. Kevin's the EMT. And Kevin usually helps with logistics and with remote mapping for our chasers to get them in place and radar monitoring and all that good fun stuff.
All right. Good evening, Kevin.
A little bit about myself. I basically grew up in a National Weather Service office.
Oh, wow.
WS Lincoln. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Big Brothers Big Sisters program.
Yes, sir.
I
Definitely.
lost my dad when I was 4, and Chris Miller, he was the warning coordinator at the time, was my big brother. So I grew up at NWS Lincoln. Actually, inside the office, I've seen weather balloons launched. I've known about weather since I was like 8 years old. This is when this started. I'm a national registered medical emergency technician. I'm also licensed to practice in the state of Illinois. Weather is just my life, basically, besides my family. And then, of course, my medical background. Other than that, I chase. I do, like Alicia said, I do logistics on the back end mostly. I help people, like if they're in a storm and they need radar real quick, I'm usually right there. I can be reached. I've basically done it all. I've been on some of the biggest tornadoes, Joplin, El Reno. This is pretty much who I am and how I am, and I'm also from Illinois, so there's that.
Okay. It's good to talk to you this evening, Kevin. And
then we got Nate Reno.
Reno here. Reno had to unmute the mic, my bad. And speaking of Mike, also muted his and took off for just a minute. But I am Nathan Reno. I am just south of Nashville, Tennessee, in Murfreesboro. I got my start in weather, right around 1999. Freak lightning strike hit the peak of my house. At first, caused me to, just like a lot of people, how they get their start, have a obsessive weather anxiety fear for 5, 6, 8 years, and then I taught myself to learn how to read radar, learn how to read velocity by watching the local meteorologists here in Murfreesboro, Nashville on TV, and just became obsessed with it after I figured myself out and figured out that I can either let it control me or I can control it and learn everything I can about it and go that way about it. I help on the team. I am an admin. I help on the team with radar alerts, occasionally field ops. I am disabled from the knees down, do have a disability, am in a wheelchair, so I chase locally, chase when I can, and get out there. But mostly I am helping with radar and admin duties, as well as the warning alert system at the time, and going to be currently working towards working on a live stream that we can all get set up so that we can build the brand and build a trusted brand that everybody relies on for their weather information via live streams, YouTube live streams, Twitch live streams, wherever. I'm probably going to put it in multiple
how
different
is
places
that platform,
so
Twitch? If you don't mind me asking you, do you do well with Twitch?
Twitch is good. I've used Twitch in the past, especially when I was podcasting. It's more, it was originally created for people with video games to have like a live stream, but lots of non-gaming channels.
Well, how would you even mark that as far as a chase or a weather stream? I'm wondering.
It's just a different destination to put it out on. Like the program that I have, you can go into 8 different destinations at once. So the more places, so I can be on YouTube, I can be on Facebook, I can be on Twitter, I can be on Twitch, all at the same time. So it's not like a separate stream.
Okay. And that's
we're all
StreamYard, right?
It to one place, and then if we put 2 more on Restream or pay for a bigger Restream account, we could even fan it out to maybe possibly with custom our MTP like 20 streams,
Mm-hmm.
So
and that would help. That would help us out in a big way. Just at the base, at the beginning, starting out, I have 2 weather groups with about 25,000 followers.
And everybody trusts Reno, so this is why we need to get him on the air sooner rather than later and put him into a national thing, because a lot of people trust him and only him for alerts. So if we integrate that with the current system we have, and then put the rest of us as chasers there and us as analysts out there, I really think we're going to have a unique product that nobody else is quite doing.
I mean, that's the whole thing behind it. Like, everybody has their own set of skills and expertise per se, like mine with trucking and then both weather, just because I know how to reach the truck drivers. Like you got to say like a tornado warning 11 o'clock at night or 4 o'clock in the morning. There's nobody to watch.
New information.
Sorry about that.
This special event has been updated.
So in case you're all wondering what that is, I do run Atmospheric X to help me out with the notifications and stuff like that. Are y'all familiar with that?
Familiar with what?
Atmospheric X.
No.
It's, oh my gosh, I got a lot to teach you guys. So, Atmospheric X is developed by a bunch of people like us, storm chasers, analysts, whatever, that provide graphical data. The same stuff that Ryan is using. If you're watching Ryan Hall's stream, what he's got basically is more of a precursor of Atmospheric X. And
Okay.
he's modified his to his own taste. And I like what he's done. It's like, that's the reason why I added like my rollover risk. I added like say right now I got a flood warning in Kent, Michigan. It'll tell you what interstates are next to that, like I-65, I-75, whatever. Gibson, Indiana says exactly I-65 and I-70 are impacted in those zones because I've coded it that way. I did not want to be a copycat of Ryan. I like what Ryan's doing. I think he's got a great score system. Mine's based on the trucking industry. Severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings, flash flood warnings, winter storm warnings, blizzard warnings, dense fog advisories, and high wind warnings. Those are the big ones right there that a truck driver needs to know exactly what is going on. Those are the things that I would look forward to needing to know about if I was driving, say if I had a load going from A to B, I would need to know about those things. Rollover risk, basically, like right now, Texas has got a moderate level 3, 18.5 miles per hour with gusts at 36. That's a level 3 out of a level 5 for me. That's the way it's this condition as strong in yellow, kind of like your enhanced index if you're doing SPC. Red is like, extreme blowover risk possibly, and, purple would be like dangerous or something like that. Dangerous to be
What I
driving,
think is
shut
going to
down.
change the game about this is during our live broadcast, we're going to be the only people who talk to truckers during our broadcast, right?
Yeah.
So, and no shade on Ryan and Max.
No, I love those guys. I think they made a great platform.
But we're going to be the only people who are talking to truckers during our broadcast. Because while we're telling these other people to take cover, we're also going to tell truckers, here's your closest truck stop. Here's your closest pull-off point. Here, you know what I mean? We can also give them some tips, too. Park your truck into the wind if you can. That's going to help you more than being against it.
Yep.
Things of that nature. And I think that that's what's going to, in the moment, bring us to the next level more so than anybody else. Because while we're giving people in their homes alerts, we will make a short blurb about what truckers need to do, and no one else is doing that.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's the reason why I started this platform, is because, truck drivers need the weather information, I think, more vital than anybody else out there. And the reason why I say that,
first, because they're in the most danger. People in passenger cars, yes, are in danger to some degree, but
not like an 18-wheeler.
Not like that. And a lot of people are new drivers, maybe haven't driven in that part of the country before. Could be hot shots. You never know.
Right. And because some of the place files that I made back on GR Level X and WSV3, they updated up to like 3.2 or whatever. I have not been able to get those place files to work, but I had every single truck stop mapped across the country. Every single Love's, Pilot, Flying J, TA, Petro. Those are the big 5. Now there's a couple down like Sap Brothers out in the west and whatnot. But if you're a truck driver, you need to know where to park that truck, because the biggest problem right now in the trucking industry, you guys may or may not know, is that there's limited parking for truck drivers right now, because truck stops have now started charging truck drivers to park in certain spots. You have to pay $20 just about to park in that spot, to park at that truck stop overnight. It's cheaper to get a hotel room sometimes. And there's not the parking that there used to be. We've been begging Congress to make more rest areas and stuff like that. They're slow to move. It's the government. They are not quick to react to that. In private business, there's nothing they can do except maybe issue a certain type of law that could restrict them from charging truck drivers from parking on their property and charging. But you know what? It's free enterprise. So they technically can't go in and say, hey, you can't do that, because it's their business.
Right.
So if we can do something to make a difference for me in this niche that I'm working on, to keep truck drivers safe, or anybody else, that's what I'm going to try to do. And if the more people I work together with, if people want to send pictures of extreme conditions with you guys, if y'all have a picture of a rolled over truck or something like that, or something that's going on, send it to me. I'm more than happy to take that picture and credit United National Weather Team for that. And then, we just get the word out there, from my platform, just to, be sure these guys are being safe out there.
Yeah, and like I said, I was thinking about having you go in the back end of the StreamYard so you can help load up some of this stuff so that when we do go live, you can even put your custom RNTP in there too, so we could all go live together when we go live. There's multiple ways to do this.
I'm down.
We could take turns, if somebody's burnt out, because, we're all going to have the same integrity about what type of information we're putting out, not to be on bullshit, etc.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a very solid live stream team between, the four of us, and even Kevin's really good too. Don't discount Kevin out there.
Well, if you guys need graphics and whatnot for OBS or whatnot, give me a request of what you're looking for.
StreamYard, but OBS is very similar to StreamYard, so it'd be the same format.
I'd like to try that at some point. But like I said, I know StreamYard does cost some money, so. But
yeah, I've been paying for it for years, so I'll get you in and let you play with it because I'd like to use it since I pay so much for it.
Right. Okay. Well, that'd be appreciated, and that way I can kind of get familiar with it.
Yeah.
But as far as the graphics go, like for my channel, like for my YouTube, I got subscriber locations. If somebody subscribes to my to my YouTube channel, I will put on the top of my bar their location and zip code. It'll pull up their observations. Right now it's overcast, feels like so and so, humidity, dew point, wind gust, whatever have you. That shows appreciation to that subscriber that, hey, I can come here anytime and see what's going on. I hope to have about 250 call requests, per hour, with the API that I'm running right now, the Open Weather API. I want to see that thing be used. I'm using my free version right now. But, I want to see that thing used.
I'm not using a ton of API calls for like our alert system, so it's been pretty cheap because we go through Microsoft pulling our API calls.
That's pretty cool.
New information.
Sorry.
This special event has been updated.
I apologize about the notification there, but...
No worries. We use that for our alert system. That's the only place I'm personally pulling API
New
calls
information.
right now, but,
this special event has been updated.
Something we can work on, definitely.
Yeah.
I think we could really make a good product to push on.
New
to
information.
The air. And I'd like to
this
do it
special
soon.
event has been updated.
Nate's ordering his equipment this week. So then he'll be able to be involved, and then we can just start kind of making a platform from there.
Right on. All right. Does anybody have any questions for me, or does anybody else want to take over?
At all? Does anybody have any questions, admin crew?
I personally am good.
Copy that.
I
Yeah.
personally have none.
Oh,
I'm
Sam.
good.
Okay, copy that. Sam,
Huh?
you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Okay.
again, I'm going to do the best I can to help serve United National Weather Team as best to my ability. And if y'all have anything that you need, feel free to reach out to me. I'll continue with you guys here and keep the show going,
Yeah,
I guess.
we'll get to some of the chats and kind of get you in the group and then introduce you. And we might have some few shuffle changes because now that we're going to get you guys on the team, we're going to have a big meeting and a few people might disappear, so don't be alarmed. But it's not going to be a big deal. It's just things that need to happen and spring cleaning and just a few things. So we haven't had our big team meeting yet since we've come back from convention, which is like our big to-do of the year. So we're going to get back on that.
How many people are in your team right now, Alicia?
30. I want to say, I know you didn't ask it of me, I'm sorry, but I just have it off the top of my head. I think it's like 35 or 36.
Oh, wow.
No, there's a lot of us. Now, does everybody participate all the times? No. That's why we have an admin crew.
Right.
Because we're all volunteer.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm dying over it.
Okay.
I know. I can't expect everybody to, to be available all the time.
Right.
So, we have our tight-knit group that, just puts more effort forward, and then we have some auxiliary members. So that's what I mean. Like, we're going to be moving some people from the main group to the auxiliary group just because they, haven't had the time to do things, and it's not anything against them. It's just we're kind of going in a new direction this year and really want to be proactive and productive and
Well,
want to keep the
how about
people
we
with
talk
us
about
that
that
are
with it?
doing.
Tell me about the United National Weather Team. What is your mission, and what would you guys like to see done for 2026? How about I just ask you that real quick?
Okay, yeah. Well, we have quite a few goals. Number one is I'm already on the AMS Committee for Emergency Management. So our goal is to bridge the gap between the public, stakeholders, chasers, meteorologists to try to make a nicer situation for communities. So we do that through public outreach by speaking to communities. We also do that by attending events when we can, giving back. Like last year, we fed the Bemidji Police Department and all of the ambulance people and all of the nurses at the hospital after the dress show. The night after Enderlin. And so we do things like that. So we do community outreach as well. And then we also go out and try to just do public service events. We go to Wakita every year. We go to Harvest Moon Drive-In. So lots of like public chaser interactions, community interactions. So we're trying to strengthen community bonds. So like a trickle up kind of scenario where we teach individual communities how to be resilient and then keep going up the line, whether that's, emergency management, teach them how to effectively communicate with the community and people, and whether that's the government, teaching the government how to communicate to emergency management and then the people, like however it goes, bridging the gaps so that we do not see people fall through the cracks. Because I got into this due to Hurricane Harvey. So after Hurricane Harvey, and we realized that the federal government really couldn't help anybody. Like we knew Katrina, but like this was even worse.
Oh yeah.
To some degree, because it was the first big failure. And so I realized the only way we're going to do that is to have us save ourselves, right? So by activating communities and teaching them resilience, it helps them in the long run when these events occur that they're more ready. It shows across the country, communities that have been taught or are tight-knit have a better chance of survival than others.
Well, what do you think was the ultimate failure during that hurricane? Because the way I understood it, a lot of the insurance companies did not want to pay out, and then there was some executive thing that had happened under the new Trump administration where they were forced to pay out. Like, how do you dance around that? I think that was one of the biggest problems.
Storms, we have a too big to fail scenario. People don't realize that these storms can become bigger than anybody can manage very quickly.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And there's no city in America or on Earth that are ready for the size of disasters that occur and the damage. And people are literally winging it. So the only way is to teach communities. That's why. There's no other way. You can't just come in after the fact anymore. There's too many people involved. You can't evacuate them. You can't put everybody in shelters. It's just not possible.
I agree.
So if I can teach everybody how to take care of themselves from the community level up, we're all right.
See, and in that too, with the whole shelter and everything like that, it made me pissed off when I found out about this. But I get it from a political standpoint that what they're talking about, why all of these city managers and these EMA directors and these leaders, yada yada yada, they have to account for all of those people within their county line, and that's a big reason why these types of this access to these shelters is limited or non-existent in some of these tornado-prone areas. Is the fact of there's been liability issues with theft. There's been a lot of these people, as we know, as storm chasers, as weather enthusiasts, former meteorologists, weather nerds, whatever we are,
right?
Whatever our title may be, you get a tornado warning, and that's when people act. They don't act when a majority of them won't act when that watch goes out, when they need to act. If they're in a mobile home or unsafe living situation or whatever that's not a sturdy shelter, that watch can go out and they'll be willy-nilly for the first 3 hours of that watch.
Sure.
And the second a warning goes down, then they hop their ass in their car and they leave, and they're driving in a HP Supercell with a rain-wrapped tornado, and they ain't got a damn clue where it's at. And then they're going to shelter. That puts another liability out on, unfortunately, the city managers and the town. So a lot of these places are rejecting or trying to figure out and failing the public access shelter avenue of what they need to do, and it's still costing people their lives to this day.
You're absolutely right. You're 100% right on that, man. My uncle, when I was a kid, owned a campground, so I know this firsthand. Luckily, we never had any tornado warnings and stuff like that that came near his campground and whatnot. But we were never prepared for a tornado. This is down in Central Florida back in the day. But yeah, so the mentality when people get a tornado watch, I live in Northeast Alabama, so down here, most of the people, not everybody, have the mentality, oh, if it's my time, it's my time. That's not my reasoning. That's not my logic. God's given me basically a good head on my shoulders to know to get out of harm's way whenever harm's coming towards me. So that's the way I see that. But unfortunately, this, like I said, this isn't everybody, but most of the older generation, pre 1950s, is like, if it's my time, they don't care about watches, warnings. You got James Spann down here, and he's the greatest of all time. He is the GOAT down here. Everybody watches James Spann whenever there is a tornado event in Alabama. And unfortunately, if we could save everybody, he would have, and does his very best to do that. And he's done this since I was a kid. But unfortunately, people have got this mindset that they just don't care. And I don't really know if there's any way we can actually change that, where people, just take attention to, a watch versus a warning, or they just don't care. And I just don't know if there's anything we can do as a society to really change that.
The best way you can do is, and Nate knows this as well as I do, doing alerts for his leg, and Kevin knows this. All you can do is put the alert out, and the people who want to hear it will hear it. The ones that don't. And we're lucky that now everybody posts alerts to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
So even if somebody just follows one chaser, hopefully they're getting appropriate alerts. But you can't, unfortunately, in our line of business, we can't worry about the ones we miss, even though those are the ones that hurt the most. Because you can hurt the water, but you cannot make it drink.
Exactly.
And my dad is one of those horses that you can lead to water, be in the same fucking house with him, and he don't drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, Reno. It's terrible as your own parents.
See, here's another thing about this. So, I mean, let's take the truck drivers, especially the older generation. I mean, not necessarily all of them, some of the younger ones as well. You'll hear a warning on your, possibly on your NOAA weather radio in the truck, because all the trucks, 90% of them have a NOAA weather radio. But they don't really get the alerts. I mean, they might get lucky enough to hear the alert on their cell phone, thank God. But what does that really mean? Oh, I mean, they're not paying attention. They're probably less on their radio, or just talking to people from home or whatever. They're not paying much attention to the weather until it drops on top of them. So, again, that's not everybody. So if I can get my platform out there to, somebody can tune in for like maybe 2 minutes and, hey, this isn't looking good. Let's check out, my channel for a second, see what's going on for the truckers. And, I'll have my scrolls and whatnot talking about where the watches and warnings and whatever are located at. I'm trying to step up my game. I'm trying to step up to Max and Ryan and whoever.
Yeah, and I know the way to do it because I've done it before. I just haven't had the graphics help, so
I will help you out with that.
To make it work. So it'll be good.
Well,
come on, buddy.
You just tell me what you're looking for. I'll build it for you.
Right, because I don't know. Yeah, because I think that's what's going to change the game for us, for everybody, and we can, send truckers your way for trucker specific.
Yeah.
But we can also talk about that and kind of tie it into our live streams at the same time.
Yep.
So basically, kind of just crossing it as much as we can.
Mm-hmm. I agree, and like I said, I think it takes a team to make things come together. Like I said, I got Mother Trucker News on YouTube. He's got over 600K on his channel, and he does strictly 100% trucking news. So I'm piggybacking off of him just a little bit with some of the stories related to the trucking industry and whatnot. But when it comes to weather, when it impacts truck drivers, like right now we got this winter weather winter weather event in Des Moines, Iowa right now. I think there's a special weather statement in play.
Yeah, that was bad, and they shut down roads early. I've never seen I-80 and 35 shut from
That was crazy. What was that?
Albert
Last
Lee.
night, 2 nights ago, they had 35 shut
and
down.
I-80 both ways. We were just on that road with Cheyenne
I
like the
saw
week
that.
before chasing.
Yeah, I was watching your video for about 10 minutes on that night, and I was like, man, I hope you know where you're going.
Yeah, I mean, well, no, we were local the other night during the blizzard, but I mean, as far as the week before, we were chasing like tornadoes down there.
Right.
Same road, and then a week later closed. Like, that's insane. Because it's really wide open there, so like, you wouldn't think it'd be as bad as it was, but it was really bad.
Did anybody get into to the ditches and stuff like that from your travels? Did you see anybody have any difficulty?
Not that we know, like down by Cheyenne, I know more people did, and there's a few accidents and stuff. But up here, I didn't really hear of anything.
Well, that's good.
But like Wisconsin got bombed.
Oh yeah. Well, right now you guys
bombed.
look pretty good over there on the western side of Minnesota, like St. Cloud and Minneapolis
like some
looks pretty.
or flurries tonight, but we didn't get any up here, so that was good for us, I guess.
Right.
I wanted the snow, though. I wanted the blizzard. I wanted to bring up my snowmobiles. I was sad.
What? That sounds like fun. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we'll take them out tomorrow either way. But still, we gotta go at 4 to the gym. Okay. So yeah, it's one of those things that, I wanted the blizzard, and then it moved 75 miles south, so I get no blizzard.
Or you get like a little bit of snow and not enough snow, or sometimes the snow's too much.
I never think the snow's too much. I live in the north, so I like the snow. There's snow activities you can do.
Shoot, we had a little bit of snow down here in Alabama. I think it was yesterday. I was asleep. I was streaming until 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, with that cold front that came from up here. Yeah, everybody had a little flurry.
That's basically the right way to put it. We had like a snow shower at best that lasted like maybe an hour, and everybody's freaking out down here. Oh my God, it's snowing in Alabama. I'm like, shh, shut up.
I get it. The South loses their mind though off a flake.
You forgot about our agreement, Alicia. You forgot to keep your weather in your backyard.
Look, I keep telling you I make no promises, and then you wonder why I wandered away.
Your weather has definitely wandered away. It is drunk.
It is, but listen, it can do that sometimes. It's a
I woke up Monday morning, and my text message is, "Oh my God, it's snowing!" I probably had 15 text messages and like 8 or 9 inboxes. It's snowy. I'm like, oh my God, shut the fuck up. I don't care. It's cold. It's miserable. Oh God, it was miserable, but it was funny.
Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse because everybody does follow you for the info, so like they're real sad when something happens. So I get it.
Further about 35, 40 minutes south of me, they got 2 inches. We got a decent flurrying, and that was it. I was so glad it passed over us. But yeah, I do. I've got a video sitting in my inbox right now, or it may have been deleted because she's not sure that she should have shared it. I've got a video that just came from inside of a big box store of the Clarksville tornado, or what may have been the Clarksville tornado affecting a big box store from their security cam footage. I've got several things that I'm about to post here once we get off this call of the Clarksville tornado stuff from the other night. I got a couple of videos of it.
I got a question for you real quick about that. Do you ever get videos from law enforcement after storm damage? If an officer might have been on a storm, can you a FOIA request or a public record request those?
That's a good question.
Are you asking, can you like FOIA
I mean, you should be able to. If they turn on their,
video?
like if they're doing search and rescue or something, or running on
you
call,
can FOIA that
you
video,
can
absolutely.
FOIA
You
or
just have
public
to put
records
in a
request.
formal request for the date and the time, yeah.
Correct.
So we can public records request their videos.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
if there's no obstruction from that state. I think Minnesota. I
Yeah,
did get
and
that
most
Nicole
of
Mitchell.
the time they allow it as long as there's nothing like it's not being, and we tell them what it's being used for.
It doesn't
They're
matter.
usually
It's
cool.
you don't have to tell them. Like when I FOIA requested the
Yeah,
Senator
you
Nicole
don't have
Mitchell
to give a reason,
case.
but sometimes it's better approved if you give a reason.
No, I disagree with that respectfully.
I
That is
don't, because
your
I've dealt with politics over 20 years, and I'm telling you, if they think you're going to use it against them, they'll hide it first and say it doesn't exist, because I've dealt with that too.
That's
So, like,
interesting.
honestly, we're using it for up and up purposes just to show public safety. If you tell them that off the jump, they're more willing to give it than to say it doesn't exist, because I'm telling you they will. If they think in any way it could put their officer in a bad light, they're not going to give it to you.
That makes sense.
Yep, because they're going to protect their agency. But if you tell them, hey, I'm just using this for public safety, they're going to want to give it up because people are real freaky about that video now, I'm telling you. So, like, when you make the FOIA request, you could just say what it's for. It's not like we're using it for anything else.
Right.
It just might help is all get them to be like, get them not to be on the defensive right away of why would this person want this.
But if there's a report on it, though, let me just ask you this. Let's just say, if there's a report, usually within a certain agency, a body cam or dash cam has to go with that report, right?
Usually, yes, because let's say they were on as long as they were like on shift and weren't like off duty for whatever reason, yes, it should.
Okay, just checking.
The report should be with the dash cam footage because that would be an incident, and it should have an incident report.
Absolutely, yeah. Down here, if there's a report, the body cam has to be provided along with it because if you're doing a report, your body cam has to be on down here in our agencies.
Right, that's what I mean. And if you saw an incident occur, you'd have to call that incident in, and then that would be an incident.
Gotcha.
Yep. So usually it should be there. So like a lot of times they just used it for like, what was it? It was a Kansas news station that got it over the fire chief's body cam video because he was challenging the emergency manager about having radio comms with them. And it was released to like a Kansas newspaper. It's pretty easy to get it released. If you just say it's for journalism purposes and you kind of explain what it's for, they'll be willing to give it up. Like they give it up to a lot of different places real easy, especially when it's like storms and stuff.
Well, let's try to start building on
cases or crimes or anything like that. You might get pushback, but because it's just storm footage, I doubt we'd ever really get them to say no.
Well, let's all of us, each of us got different locations to probably pull these videos from.
Yeah,
get
or
them
especially events
and
that
get
we
them
end up
quick.
being on through travel too.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I mean, last year I was in many different places where if things did happen, we could have got said video. Like I was in Colorado, I was in Illinois, chasing many different places, chasing Iowa.
Right.
And we should start wearing body cams too. Those of us who go out and chase.
I've got my meta glasses. I love
meta
them.
Glasses for like the POV view.
Yeah.
Because they can help, especially in crashes. People are getting crashed into lately. It's been pretty bad.
National Registry of Emergency Medical Technicians is actually looking into mandating body cam worn footage for EMTs.
I could see that because I think they need to cover their butts too in case something happens.
Would that be a violation of HIPAA though, in some aspect?
No, not unless it's released to the public.
Yeah, they'd have to work around that because it's not. I mean, it's never a good look when y'all are getting your ass kicked in the back of the ambulance by somebody you just narcaned the fuck out of, and now they're mad. You've got to have some protection.
That's why I use.
So you would need to do redactions, basically, then.
Yes.
Okay.
Like our training videos and stuff that we have to take are redacted.
And they would tell you if you needed to redact footage due to other people being in it and stuff like that when you request it.
Right.
If you're telling them it's for media use, because you would have to say that. If you put that on your live stream at all, or you put it on anywhere on social, you have to tell them that you're requesting it for media use. No, you took go grab one. I just locked the door though. We'll get it, yeah. But it'll still work if you don't have the key. How are my friends doing? My cat. But yeah, you would have to tell them media use though, because otherwise they could come after you afterwards.
Okay.
But there is some levels to that when you're requesting official footage to put out. But anybody can be a journalist, so that's not a big deal. You just present yourself as your brand to them. You might have, yeah. You might have.
Well, I think we all can check out some.
My grandma's lamp.
Has there
get
been
that
a
lamp.
lot of search and
It's right
rescue
next to it.
the last couple of days? Has there been like a lot of search and rescue out there? Like with the interstates and stuff like that?
Not a ton of search and rescue ongoing. No, there's been a couple of search and rescue events, but I wouldn't say that there's been that I can count anyway that I'm aware of. I wouldn't say there's been more than 5 or 6. Most of what we saw the last 2 days was brief, weak stuff. EF0 to EF1. Matter of fact, I can't even say that I've seen an EF2 out of the 21 tornadoes that have been confirmed. But I do. I know of a couple of SNR scenarios. The EF1 that hit Bonnertown, Tennessee. There was SNR during that, but that was at what, 10:50, 11 o'clock at night. So of course, nighttime you have a high-end EF1, mid-range EF1 that comes through and destroys a mobile home that wasn't even set yet. By the way, that mobile home had just been delivered Friday. It wasn't even anchored. Yeah, you're gonna have SNR in situations like that. I mean, and of course, living in Northeast Alabama, that the South is it's mobile home city.
Yeah.
It's not only is it an unfortunate forced living situation, it's a damn way of life down here. People pick and choose to live in trailers because it's a way of life down here. It's a lifestyle, and everybody knows, or most everybody knows, that tornadoes are mobile home park magnets, or vice versa. I'm sorry, mobile homes are tornado magnets because of how widespread a populace they are down here.
I mean, no matter how well they're tied down, like every tornado has its own strength and intensity. Sure, you might be able to survive an EF0, but maybe an EF1, possibly. But you're gonna get hit. You're gonna have damage. There's no question about it. It's like an aluminum foil, being hit.
People that know me and that rely on me and are in my groups and stuff like that, they can't. I actively refer to mobile homes as tin cans, and tell them you're in a rolling tin can. Once it gets above 105, 110, it's just gone. I'm sorry. There's no better way to put it. You're just in a fucking tin can, and once you get to 105, 110 miles an hour, if that, it's gone. Sorry. So I tell them, you gotta leave. You gotta go.
I mean, once you see enough of that stuff out there, and from what you see, and there's plenty of videos, there's plenty of stuff online that you can see mobile homes completely destroyed compared to conventional homes. And I agree. The mentality that people think about, they can buy a mobile home for like maybe $30,000, maybe $50,000, like a brand new one, perhaps, compared to buying a house. Use that $30K or $50K on like a deposit at least. I mean, come on.
I'm almost certain, and I'll have to look at it here in just a minute, but I'm almost certain that the Bonnertown tornado got a 90-mile-an-hour rating. And like I said, no, it wasn't anchored. It had just been delivered on Friday. But I don't know if the anchoring would have made a damn difference. But half of the mobile home is in one spot, and the other half of it is off to the right by a couple hundred feet. It got split.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, that's all I've got for now for you guys. I'm glad to listen to anybody else who got anything to say, because I don't want to be, talking over anybody, or if you guys got other things to talk about, I'm here. So, but I'll try to chill out for a minute, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, no, you're good. But yeah, that's pretty much what we have. We're going to add you to the chats and get you in, and then you can talk to everybody. And it was just really an interview to get everybody in, and we had 2 other candidates, and they're already in. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Alicia, can I ask you a favor?
Yeah, sure.
The YouTube link that I sent with you earlier, would you mind sharing that with the rest of the group? And if you guys could, would y'all please hit that subscribe button on there? And if you want to also send me your zip codes, I'll set up my subscriber locations to have your zip codes for any time that I'm live streaming. Your city will flash across the screen, so that way y'all can see what's going on. If you just want to watch my streaming, that way you all don't feel left out. So
Oh,
least
yeah,
I
that's
can do.
cool.
All right.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure everybody's down with that.
All right. All right.
So
Well,
yeah, I'm on my way to the gym, so I will talk to you guys later. I hope you guys all have a good night. But
all right.
Have a good one, guys. I got some CEs to do, so.
All right.
sounds good. I gotta write my abstract too tonight when I get home, so I gotta get on it.
Glad we got everybody in here for a meeting tonight and had the time. So I'm assuming we'll all get together, or the admin crew will, and we'll talk about a big team meeting shortly.
Yeah, we could debrief soon.
One more thing I'd like to offer you guys real quick. I don't know if any of y'all that go storm chasing that have like a GPS puck, but I've written a program. I think Alicia's seen this a while back. Basically, I'll tell you your heading, your speed, your local weather meter location. If you have it connected to a Wi-Fi or something in your vehicle to pull the data, I have built a working script. For any of you guys that chase, I'm more than willing to provide that to you guys as a courtesy for being part of your group.
That's
So,
awesome.
I will
Yeah,
send
I
it to
definitely have
Alicia.
a way to pull
She
that.
can pass it out to you guys if you
I don't
want to
know
do
if
it that way.
Cheyenne, I guess, do you hotspot yours, or I guess there could be a way we could get yours hooked up too.
Yeah, I need to figure out a hotspot, or I wanted to do Starlink, but that shit's fucking expensive.
But if you want to do a cheap hotspot, I know where to send you, because you can go through PCs for people, and they can send you a hotspot, and it's unlimited internet for $15 a month.
How fast?
You just have to buy the device. It's 5G speeds, just like your cellular speeds. You can buy a booster too to even boost it up more. But as far as just having the device to have that extra Wi-Fi, it does work.
I'm interested actually for myself on that one.
I will send you the info on it because I showed Nate about it, and it's for people who are lower incomes, or if you run a nonprofit. But you can get these devices, and it's totally worth it. It's good internet. It runs on the T-Mobile towers.
Okay. All right. Well, again, if you guys need anything, just shoot me a message. Alicia, always good to talk to you. I appreciate you. And
Always.
all right. Well, you guys all have a good night. All right. I appreciate you guys, and y'all be safe and have a good week.
Yeah, have a good one.
Thank you.
You too, bro. Have a good night. Have a good week.
You too, buddy. Thanks again. Thank you all. All right, guys. This is Justin Dill. I'm going to be signing off here. So if you guys like this type of information, content, please be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel. Shout out to Mother Trucker, and we will see you guys later. Have a good night.